were there any works, like other films or theatre plays or anything, that influenced your film?
Well, yes, I think it's obvious an influence from Jean-Marie Straub and Daniel Huillet, because they made films based a lot on the presence of the actors and of texts. There's a little bit of influence from Jean-Luc Godard, from some of Godard's films. But I think the main influence, if I have to find one, is not from cinema, it's from some kind of literature. And I know it's translated in Czech because it happens in Prague, part of it. It's some novels by W.G. Sebald, who always makes this kind of historical documented stories involving relationship between past and present, and using photographs in the books, using all sorts of elements. And when I discovered Sebald a few years ago, it impressed me so much that I think the biggest influence is from him.
Would you like to achieve some kind of real world change with this film to influence how Romanians see the past?
Oh, yes, that's a tricky question, because if I say no, the next question will be, so why the fuck did you make the film? If I say yes, I think it's a little bit too arrogant, because I don't think that a film or my film could change the mindset of the viewers. But I think that's the only thing it can make is to be. I think Wittgenstein used to say that he sees his philosophy books like a ladder, and the people walk up the ladder and then they throw it away. And with all the modesty, I think of my film, that's the same. It's like a ladder that maybe people can go up and then find something or think something more interesting than I was able to.
It's not just Romanians. Many nations are reluctant to face up to the crimes of the past. Do you have any understanding for why so many nations are unwilling to look closely and critically at the crimes they've committed in the past?
I think I know why it happens in Romania, but why it's everywhere? Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because I think, but it's a speculation, when you belong to a community, you feel that you are somehow responsible in a symbolical way for everything. So if something bad was done by somebody else, you don't want to feel guilty, you don't want to feel responsible. So it's maybe psychologically easier to say no, we never did this kind of thing. But for me, I think it's more important. All of us belong to a community, but this should be only a practical matter. You shouldn't treat your community like they treat the fans, the football fans treat their, So you belong to a community, but you can be critical of aspects. It's not like, I don't see any problem to that, and I don't understand why people have a problem with these things, Why it's so difficult to say, yes, the some Czech people from 1945 made the Germans into a death march and thousands of them died, and we deeply regret it now, and let's see how it happened and why and so on. Because it's not the Czechs nowadays guilty for that, as it's not the Romanians nowadays guilty for anything from the past, or the Germans. So why can't we just look at, try to understand what happened and see what we can learn from that? I don't know. It's very easy, very simple, I think.